Dear students, today we are going to discuss one important topic and concept. It is a most fundamental for 11th standard. Then it is a topic from the 9th standard also. So that is the law of conservation of linear momentum. So if you know the law of conservation of linear momentum, we can find the rocket propulsion. That means we can find that velocity of the rocket, the thrust on the rocket, then the velocity of the recoil velocity of the gun, that is the recoil velocity of the gun. And for example, let us take one mass, for example bomb. Okay, so before explodes this bomb, it has some masses, but this velocity is 0. Okay, then after explode, for example, it is split into two pieces. One is small piece, another one is big piece. The small piece having the high velocity, the heavy piece having the less velocity. So we can find that velocity also. So this kind of application, it is starting from the law of conservation of linear momentum. So it is a very important topic in physics, especially in the force and law of motion, the law of force. Okay, so in this area it is very easy, very important questions. So let's discuss this concept, that is law of conservation of linear momentum, that theory. Okay, so please listen. Law of conservation of linear momentum. Law of conservation of linear momentum. You know that, let's take one particle. The particle mass is m. It is traveling in a straight way. So this velocity is v. So mass into this velocity, we know that is momentum. So why we call it as linear momentum? It is like a straight. Suppose the same particle travel in a circular path, here extra radius will come. That is angular momentum. So one particle is there, the particle mass is m, it's traveling with the velocity v. So this is mass into velocity, this is we called as momentum, that is linear momentum. Suppose the same particle, the same mass, travel with some velocity v velocity with some radius. See that it is a radius. Now the particle here with some radius. So m into v into r. So here already momentum is there, we can multiply with the radius. That is angular momentum. It is represented by the letter is L. Okay, அப்போ ஒரு linear momentum ஒரு radius சேர்ந்துச்சுன்னா அது angular momentum. But now we are going to discuss only the law of conservation of linear momentum, not angular momentum. So please listen. So let's refocus the main topic now. Listen. So this question we can derive in different way, but I will use one simple example. One accident. Okay. So if you observe the textbook, they are using the ball. Okay, ball before collision, what is the momentum? Then after collision, what is the momentum? So that is a concept. But instead of the ball, I will use two vehicles. Okay, two cars, two different size cars. Okay, but actually, what is the law of conservation of linear momentum? Okay, so that statement I'm going to write here after derivation. Okay, so please listen. I don't know that statement. After derivation, we can get the statement from the derivation. So please listen. So next see this diagram. See this diagram. Let's take two vehicles. That one is vehicle A. Okay. So that A vehicle, that mass is m1. This velocity is u1. Okay. This is the road. Then one more vehicle. It is a small vehicle. Okay. Small car, like a nano car. So its mass is m2. Its velocity is u2. So this is that momentum of the first car. This is the momentum of the second car. Instead of A, I use 1 and 2. So the first car momentum, this is the second car momentum. Okay, this concept is when before the accident. Okay, so before the accident. So this one, the first concept is what? That is before the accident, or before the collision, or before the impact, something. Okay, for understanding purpose I can write before the accident. Okay, right. So now the next diagram. During that accident time, so both car will be collide one another. So some force is transferred from first object to the second object. Okay, as well as the same amount of and opposite force from second object to the first object. So this is very important concept. So this diagram at accident time, during the accident time. Okay, right. Then the next diagram after the accident. See that after the accident, next diagram. So maybe that after the accident, just to think practically. Now it is, for example, it is a somewhat high velocity. Okay, just to practically I am saying, maybe it is slow velocity. It is a slow. So now it will be collide one another. Then after that, mass is constant, but the velocity what changes. Accident velocity maybe it's reducing or otherwise increasing. Anyhow, the change in velocity. So this is the diagram after the accident. So after the accident, so the same mass, but its velocity is different. That is v1. See that here u1 is before accident, but after the accident, this velocity is changed as v1. Like that second mass. Okay, second mass. Why I put second mass like this? Because now this accident, due to the accident, it will be affected more. So let us imagine. So the same mass m2, but its speed is, and its velocity is, we can say v2. So this is the diagram after accident. After accident. Okay. So now you know what happened before the accident, and during the accident time, then after the accident time. So mass is constant, but the velocity only changes in that before accident and after the accident cases. Okay, shall we derive? Yes. You know that in the previous sessions we discussed about the Newton's laws. So by using the Newton's laws, we are going to express the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay. So we know that Newton's second law, because you know the Newton's second law is what? The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. Okay. So please capture this diagram. Now I am going to derive this. Okay. I will rub now. So please listen. So pause the video and write this diagram. Draw this diagram. Then we can go next. So please listen. See this derivation. The next heading is derivation. Next heading is derivation. So from Newton's second law. So Newton's second law, you know, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to applied force. So according to that, I can write as equation, force is equal to change in momentum. Change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time. Because you know already that is F is equal to, okay, you know that is F is equal to, yes, change in momentum divided by change in time. This concept you know. Okay, so this concept you know, so according to that we can write mv minus mu then divide by t. Okay, so please listen. So now I can write by using that Newton's second law. Okay, so Newton's second law, change in momentum divided by time. So that part is over. So here we can get the result is force. So now let's focus the force. Because you know Newton's second law, which is used to measure the force. Yes, we measure the force. We can get the formula. இப்போ அந்த டயக்ராமில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா யார் மேலே ஃபோர்ஸ் அப்ளை பண்ணாங்க? ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வெஹிக்கிள், செகண்ட் வெஹிக்கிள். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வெஹிக்கிள் இஸ் ஆக்சிடென்ட் வித் செகண்ட் வெஹிக்கிள். ஸோ சம் ஃபோர்ஸஸ் இஸ் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர்ட் ஃப்ரம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கார் டு செகண்ட் கார். அட் த சேம் டைம் the same and equal amount of force passes from second object to the first object. So what is again this? I said indirectly I said the sentence statement. Equal and opposite force. Yes, Newton's third law. So next, from Newton's third law. So Newton's third law, you know, Newton's third law, every action there is equal, every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So one force is action, for example first object to second object, then the reaction is what? Second object to first object is reaction. So every action there is equal and opposite, but equal and opposite. Magnitude is will be equal but opposite direction. Correct or not? Yes. So this is the statement for Newton's third law. Every action there is equal and opposite. Opposite sign is there. So now what is force? What is this force? So first, the first object to the second object. அப்ப யார் force apply பண்றாங்க? First object தான் apply பண்றது. So this F value I can write this format. யார் வர போறாங்க இங்க? Only the first number one only will come, first object only will come. So we can write this formula, okay, in F12 format. So we can write, இப்போ pure first object மட்டும் தான் எழுதுறேன். அப்ப என்ன எழுதலாம்? m1 v1 minus m1 u1 divided by time is t. Then minus of, this is for second object. அதே சமயம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் எப்படி செகண்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் மேல அப்ளை பண்ணிச்சோ அதே மாதிரி செகண்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் என்ன பண்ணுது? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் மேல ஃபோர்ஸ் அப்ளை பண்ணுது. அப்போ பியூர்லி இங்க செகண்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் மட்டும் வரும். ஸோ த சேம் ஐடியா, சேம் ஃபார்முலா வி கேன் ரைட் ஃபார் செகண்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் m2 v2 minus m2 u2 divided by time is t. Now let's see that time tt will be cancelled because it's same time it will be same time. இது தனியா முட்ட போறது இல்ல. Okay, so it is the same time. It is the same time. Correct only, no? அப்ப என்னுடைய சிம் இந்த கையில படுறதும் அதே சேம் டைம் தானே? Okay, it is the same time. So the time will be the cancel. Like that in the accident time also the same time will be the cancel. So we can write the remaining term, that is m1 v1 minus m1 u1 is equal to minus multiple inside. So minus m2 v2 minus of minus plus m2 u2. So now let's we take all the u term one side, all the v term another side. What do you want? For my convenience I can write m1 v1. Okay, here minus m2 v2 moving this side, so I can write plus m2 v2. Like that, minus m1 u1 moving that side become plus m1 u1 plus already m2 u2 is there. Okay, so please listen. We can write the very last step. Okay, actually what? m1 v1 plus m2 v2. m1 v1 plus m2 v2. m1 v1 எங்க இருக்கு? After the collision, first object momentum. m2 v2 எங்க இருக்கு? After the collision, second object momentum. So if you focus this left side, total momentum after the collision. Okay, like that, m1 u1, that is the momentum of the first object before the collision. m2 u2, that is the momentum of the second object before the collision. Upper equation right side irukkiradhu ellame total momentum before the collision. Equation left side irukkiradhu ellame total momentum after the collision. So now I can say the statement as total momentum before collision. Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after the collision. So this is the statement of law of conservation of linear momentum. So without this formula, without this concept, we can't find the recoil velocity of the gun, the rocket propulsion, like that. So many applications are there. So we can say the statement in a short form: total momentum before collision equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, total momentum before collision equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, if it is the ball or otherwise some vehicle means we can say the collision. Okay, if the bomb explode means total momentum before explosion, total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion. Like that we can say. If it is a rocket, total momentum before propulsion is equal to total momentum after propulsion. So like that. For the recoil velocity of the gun also, total momentum before firing is equal to total momentum after the firing. So the question name only different, but the concept is same. Okay, I hope you understand this concept, that is law of conservation of linear momentum.